OK 啊。So, very good morning to our lecturer. So today our group will present about the title How Go Ahead Singapore Move Forward with Flexibility for Employees. So my name is Q Charming and my matrix number is 271311. So, uh, what is public transportation operator? So public transportation operator is a driver of school bus, intercity bus, local commuter bus, and local transit railway system. So, does public transportation operator important? It is important because it provides service with a fee which is low and also can help to reduce the usage of the car or customer using a public transport at the way they went to other place. So, Go Ahead Singapore is the bus operator in Singapore that provide the service to the passengers to move to other place. Go Ahead Singapore started operating since 4 September 2016 and is a subsidiary of the Go Ahead Group. Go Ahead Group is a UK transport operator which enables more than 1 billion journey years. It gets awarded by Land Transport Authority to commerce operation. Go Ahead Singapore operate with a good management team which is drawn on 3 decades of international experience and can solve problems easily since they faced it before. The quick response helps them generate the loyalty customer that keep using the service provided by Go Ahead Singapore. So after that, I will give my partner to continue the part.
Alright, now I will present the overview of company HRM activity for the Go Ahead Singapore. In this case study, we can know that the Go Ahead Singapore human resource management is quite good. They use a more relaxed way to manage their employee. This way will make employee less stressed and happy than other management method. Wong Bo-leong, Director of Human Resource at Go Ahead Singapore, point out that such as arrangement positive impact to the employee life and their attitude can make them work and company is very good. Employee can experience this benefit through flexible work schedule. They can change their substitute time to work. They can more easily meet the need for the family personal responsibility because employees have their own family. They also need to meet their family needs and the day life. So if they have a self-mix schedule in line with the company, they can cook breakfast for their families in the morning or review their lesson or lesson their children in the afternoon, increase their sense of control and can control the schedule so can good in the work. One reason people like to work from themselves is the problem of control. For this reason, the company let its employee arrange their schedule and work environment so they can have improved their mood and make them more willing work to the company. Besides, this way can improve the work efficient for employee. When they can set their work schedule, their daily chores and can be solved very well and let them very happy and do very good for the job. In this case study, one of the employee is Jane Lim, a senior human resource officer. He once had to take care for her serious ill father and the new sons. So this day, the working day of Go Ahead Singapore was standard, and because of this reason, so the company give this employee have a flexible working time so he can take care the father and the son so very good so he can make their performance is very good at the work. In general, a flexible and coincident work schedule has become part of the comprehensive employee benefit plan. If the employee can meet the needs, he will benefit for the overall positive moral and the company will get the benefit. Thank you.
My name is Jin, Nomometric 270494, and now I will present for the issue in Go Ahead Singapore Human Resource Activity. Next. The first problem that suffered by the Go Ahead Singapore human resource activity is fixed work schedule. The fixed work schedule, which means the employee must follow the number of hours, days, and time set by the companies, and the work schedule will be followed by the employee throughout the employee employment period. The implementation of the fixed work schedule or standard hours by Go Ahead Singapore has caused a problem to some employees, especially for working parents, which they will have no time or they have the difficulties in fulfilling their responsible or duty as a child or parents. By applying the standard working hour, the employee will have less time to spend with their family and friends. For example, Jen Lee, a senior human resource officer of the Go Ahead Singapore, who has been faced with the challenge in balance her work committing with the responsible as daughter and mother due to the fixed work schedules applied by Go Ahead Singapore. With a fixed work schedule, Lim does not have time to take care of her critical ill fathers and her newborn son due to the inflexible of working time. Over time, this may cause the occurring of family conflict due to the less communication and less time spending between the employee with their family. Directly, this will worsen the family relationship, either the relationship of parents and children or husband or wife. In addition, the applying of fixed work scheme also make the employee unable to leave work earlier when they encounter an emergency event, or they may be punished by their supervisor or manager. It's also important for Go Ahead Singapore to help its employee imbalance their work life. However, the applying of standard working hours and not allow the employee working from homes will cause the employee spending more hours in the office rather than in their house. This has caused the employee has no time to pursue their personal duty, needs, and hobby. Those problems that caused by the fixed work schedule generally will reduce the job satisfaction of the employee and will increase the absenteeism and turnover rate. The high turnover rate will also increase the cost of human resource activity due to the need of recruitment and the selection, as well as training and development program. Next. The second problem is the worry of manager and employee about the flexible work scheme. The implementation of the flexible work scheme by Go Ahead Singapore has raised certain worry to manager and employee. The company found that some managers have the difficulty to adapt to the flexible work scheme due to the inconsistent of working hour of their member. And the worry about losing control over managing their team's member also make them become worried about the flexible work scheme. Some employee may also take the advantage of the flexible work scheme, which the worker may do their personal affair or playing a video game instead of working for the company. And some worker may not be able to work effectively without the supervisor or unable to concentrate on work when they are working from home. This will cause Go Ahead Singapore to lose its productivity and decline in its performance. Well, for the employee side, even the scheme will bring a lot of benefit to the worker. However, Go Ahead Singapore found the implementation of the scheme make the employee begin worried about being punished by the manager or supervisor for leaving work earlier. This will stop its employee in adopting the scheme, and the employee may feel fear to leave work earlier when they encounter an emergency event. So now I will pass to my teammate to continue.
Okay, now is the problem of retiring the age of employee. The retirement age of employee in Singapore is 62 years, and some employee will choose their retire before the retirement age or at the retirement age due to the less benefit given by company to worker after the retirement age or the re-employment period. If the employee leave Go Ahead Singapore before the retirement age, this can bring huge loss to Go Ahead Singapore. This is because a lot of employees who will reach the retirement age are still good at the healthy, so they still can have a passion of the job. In fact, people become wiser as they age, and employee will be able to take measure decision making to compare with the new employee. Each employee also have more experience, knowledge, and skill that can be used to train the new employee and bring more contribution to Go Ahead Singapore goal. Then for Go Ahead Singapore should design special employment scheme for the re-employment worker to retain each employee. Thank you.
My name is Tong, number metric 270-667. Next, I will continue the solution to address the issue. Next. First, workplace flexibility. Workplace flexibility is an employee act or employer act of allowing the employee to choose their own working hour. This way of working have solved the conflict between Go Ahead Singapore employee work and their personal affair, which can make them balance between their work and life. Since the flexibility of the workplace allow the employee to freely choose their time to go to work, thereby it reducing the pressure on the employee at work and the conflict between home and work. As we know from the case study, Jane Lim, a senior human resource officer at Go Ahead Singapore, she need to handle her family problem during the working hour before the Go Ahead Singapore implement the workplace flexibility. But after the company have implement the workplace flexibility, she able to settle her family problem before going to work and can more concentrate on work. Not only that, the workplace flexibility also allow the employee to better handle their work tasks. This is because employees have better control over their working hour, which allow them to come to work at the company when they feel they can perform at their best. For example, an employee found that she could be more focused and efficient if she start to work at 10 morning. So she can adjust her working time from 8 morning to 10 morning. Next. Second, objective-based evaluation. Objective-based evaluation is an evaluation of certain things based on objective specification. Therefore, objective-based evaluation will be average fair to the employee of Go Ahead Singapore. Objective-based evaluation have solved the concern of a Go Ahead Singapore employee that the flexible work that implemented by the Human Resource Department will affect their evaluation system. Since the employee have freely control their working hour, some manager of the company worried about losing control in team management. And the employee of the company are worried about their performance. Is it they will get punished because they are leave the work early? But in this case study, Go Ahead Singapore guarantee to their employee that their evaluation system will be very objective and is based on their achievement. This company decision have resolved the employee concern. Next. Third is part-time work scheme. Part-time work is a form of work that can be done in shift and do not exceed the time of a full-time worker in a week. This solution is to retain those employees who have reached retirement age but are still interested in working in Go Ahead Singapore. Such a part-time work plan can enable those retired employees to continue to work for the company and also ensure that their employees have a continuous income even if they are retired. In addition, providing retired employee for part-time work also allows some retired employee to continue work without being so tired because part-time job can work in shift. Not only that, allowing them to continue to work part-time in the company will also give the employee in the company have the opportunity to learn from this experienced retired employee and increase their knowledge and experience since that the retired employee have more experience than them. So now I will pass to my teammate to continue.
Okay, so for the telecom meeting, So telecommuting is a flexible form of work. It also can be called as a remote work. So it's allowed employee to complete their assigned task without having to go to their work location. So uh, this telecommuting method is to attract the job seeker to apply for work at Go Ahead Singapore and retain employee of different age in the company. So it attract the job seeker. It allow the employee to receive less interference, and employee will not feel pressure because they are work at home. So employee will have more time. That's all my.
And now I will discuss the last solutions. The last solution is the compressed work week arrangement. The compressed work plan allows employees to complete their tasks in the least amount of the time during the usual 5 days work week. For example, a full-time employee is willing to reduce his weekly tasks from 5 days and 8 hours to 4 days and 10 hours. Then he will have his own time to do his own personal things, such as what he likes to do. And compressing the work week is a good way to allow go ahead Singapore employees to have other time to do their personal affairs after completing their tasks in that week. This balances the work and life of Go Ahead Singapore employee and indirectly retain them and also attract the job seekers and retain existing employee because it allows employee to control their work time, and every employee has his own personal affairs, whether it's their family, children's, parents, and others. This also means that this employee have responsibility other than being employee of the company. When Go Ahead company implemented the compressing work week, this allowed employees with other responsibility to better handle their work responsibility and handle their own private affair. And therefore, the compressed work week implemented by the company has brought many benefits to the company, such as increase the certifications and reduce the employee absenteeism and others. This will also indirectly improve the company competitiveness. Next slide. And I will also discuss the conclusions. Um, Go Ahead Singapore company is a company which provides services to the passenger and the bus operator in Singapore, and this company use a concept of work-life harmony to its employee, which balance the work personal life and career work in an equilibrium point. And nowadays, many parents and employees have faced the problem of the inflexible work schedule. It caused many difficulties and inconvenience for the workers. So that the human resource director of the Go Ahead Singapore, Wang Poliang, have observed the arrangement of the work schedule has positively impact to the employee life and attitude toward work. And the Go Ahead Singapore company also will listening the problem that faced by the employee and figure out the solutions. And in this case, the company is very open-minded, who offer the employee with flexibility to choose the work schedule. And the one of the company employee have facing the personal issue, he can choose the flexible work schemes to either finish her duty and at home or in office. However, um, some employees are fear about work less hour will be penalized. But the Go Ahead Singapore encouraged them to by using a appraisal system, which is objective-oriented evaluations, the quality of work and achievement, but not the working hours. And in general, employee is intangible assets for the company who producing their efforts and ideas to the company. As we know that assets can earn more assets and profit. But if the company regards as the employee is the liability, the only thing that company will get is just debt and losses. Thank you.